Hey, and welcome to the Strategic Advisor Board. I'm Dr. Bruce Rippee with all things health and wellness. You know, recently somebody posted that we've got a new food pyramid. By the way, that's just simply not true. And I don't know how to unring the bell. We do not have a new food pyramid. We simply don't. Okay. In fact, we haven't had a food pyramid for 10 years. Now, I would like to go back just a little bit to tell you a little bit of the history of that. There was a food pyramid that had all grains on the bottom because it was the lobbyists. And obviously, you know who was going to benefit from that. Okay, so science has been for sale for a long time. Then in 2005, they decided to rewrite that. One of those came from the 90s. Here's 2005. They're going to rewrite it. Harvard Medical School, brilliant university, obviously very intelligent people, decided to make it more look like a circus tent. You're going to have some here, some there, some there, some there, right? Maybe a little tiny line over here for licorice and jelly beans, right? So it was really well done. And the lobbyists stopped it. It was supposed to come out in September. It doesn't come out until the following October because the lobbyists were like, no, you don't put enough emphasis on grain. So that literally happened. And please look it up. It's really good for you to look it up. The history of the food pyramid, it's probably very important. What happened later was called My Plate. That's what I call it. It has a whole bunch of other names, but basically they call it My Plate. And it had room for vegetables, fruits, you know, all of the things that you would expect, lean meats, starches, things like this. Then there was another guy that basically came along and said, hey, wait a minute, I kind of want to take a look at this. I think this is better and whatever. And that went viral. Now, it was actually a conversation based on what he thought that My Plate would really look like. And there were some really good thoughts in there, by the way. This was not a bad thing to do. The thought it was, most of the time we blend those, right? How many times do you have just spinach? Usually you'll have spinach and butter. Well, butter actually counts, right? So it's no longer just spinach. In fact, my breakfast this morning, which was spinach, eggs, and cheese, all became one thing. How do you divide that up on a plate? It's going to be really hard to do, right? So what if I had put it in a tortilla, right? So now I have some of this, some of that, some of these, right? So you're trying to figure out, well, by weight, does it go by weight? Does it go by size on your plate? I mean, how am I supposed to do this thing? So really there's enough mystery to it where when it was developed for this guy's, I want to say it was actually a critique of My Plate. He basically said, hey, the food pyramid would kind of look like this, and it would make frosted mini wheats more popular than lean meats and eggs and chicken and things like that. That has been blown completely out of proportion. So the food pyramid still is terrible, and it has been because science is for sale, and it's a lot about politics, and that's just the truth. The fact is, though, if you want to get someone to really help you with your nutrition, if you're having, you know, esophageal reflux disease, if you're having gastroesophageal reflux disease, if you're having some kind of problems in your diet, you're gaining weight or something, talk to somebody who knows. I mean, one of the 4 tenets of health and wellness, which is what I've been all about, is sleep, very, very important. Thoughts, very, very important. Eating, which is your food, and then movements, right? What's interesting is that you can fry eggs in butter and eat bacon and do all this kind of stuff if what you do is work on a farm 16 hours a day, and that's your breakfast. Believe it or not, you will very likely also have high nutrition because you're growing your own foods. That generally is what happens on a farm, right? You grow some of your own foods, and you will also have the need for calorie-dense foods. Now, yeah, the curing of bacon and all that kind of stuff, kind of a bad idea. Nitrates are bad. Yes, we get it, all that kind of stuff, but you're also burning it. If you're the person that eats that for breakfast because you love it and you have a desk job and you don't exercise as part of the taking care of the holy temple here, then yeah, you don't want to be eating that stuff because quite simply, you can't burn it. You can't go through it. Another thing is, are you drinking enough water if you eat those things, right? I'm getting all this salt in my face and I'm not drinking enough water from the natriuretic hormone in my kidneys to be able to get the sodium out of my body because you just don't need that much, right? What are your supplements like? Or, you get it. So I would say that there isn't a new food pyramid. So anybody that has that, they're getting all upset about frosted mini wheats being better than beef. Quite simply, well, let me just say it this way. Fake news. It's awesome to see you. I'll see you next week. In the meantime, be an example of what's possible.